I used to think I was lucky to have found someone like Naomi. Smart, beautiful, a single mother raising a bright teenager named Kayla. We met at a charity event through a mutual friend, and something about her grounded nature, mixed with resilience, drew me in. I admired how she carried herself, as if she had faced tough times and come out stronger. We started dating, and as my tech consulting business began booming, bringing in real success and a seven-figure income, I thought we were building something genuine. Naomi seemed to appreciate my humble roots. I grew up with a single mom who worked hard just to keep us fed, so I never let money change me. She often said she admired my drive and humility. After 2 years, I proposed, and she said yes with tears. But shortly after our engagement, things began to change. At first, it was small remarks about my life insurance policy. She'd mention it casually while folding laundry or during dinner, suggesting I update the beneficiaries now that we were starting a family. I didn't think much of it initially. I did have a $1 million policy with my younger brother as beneficiary because he had helped me through tough times. But Naomi's comments became more frequent and insistent, turning from gentle reminders to pressure. "It's not about the money," she said once. "It's about security. What if something happens to you? Don't you want us protected?" There was something chilling in her tone, not fear, not love, but calculation. Kayla was 16 then, sharp and sarcastic, typical teenager. I tried to be patient, help with her tuition, college prep, even bought her a used car for her birthday. But one day I overheard her on the phone, giggling with a friend, saying he's loaded, like really loaded. Mom hit the jackpot. He pays for everything. He's basically a walking ATM. The words hit me hard. Maybe a joke, I thought at first, but soon the pattern was clear. Naomi and Kayla would go shopping right after my paychecks hit. They knew my schedule, had access to my finances in ways I hadn't realized I'd allowed. They were deliberate. I tested it. I said I'd be traveling, but stayed home instead. Sure enough, they took a luxury weekend getaway, charged everything to the emergency card I had given Naomi. Then came the confrontation about the insurance again, more direct this time. "Look, it just makes sense. We're going to be married. If anything happens to you, wouldn't you want Kayla and me to be secure?" It wasn't the question, but the way it was delivered. As if love was a transaction, a strategic move to secure the payout. That night, I contacted my lawyer, quietly. I revised my will and had a new insurance policy drawn up with safeguards. Naomi couldn't claim anything unless we stayed married for at least 5 years. I started reclaiming control, new LLCs, redirecting funds, shutting down joint accounts. Naomi noticed and confronted me, accusing me of pulling away, not trusting her. I told her I was just being careful. A week later, I ended the engagement. She didn't beg or cry. Instead, she was angry. "You knew what we needed, and you threw us away." Needed, not loved, not cared for. I told her I wanted a partner, not someone who saw me as a payday. She left the next day, taking everything she could without breaking the law. Kayla didn't even say goodbye. To her, I was just an ATM. Months passed. I kept my head down, focusing on work and on people who valued me for who I was, not what I had. Then, out of the blue, Naomi called. She sounded desperate, claiming she'd made mistakes but missed me, and Kayla missed me too. She spun a story about how fear, not greed, drove her actions, how she'd always loved me. I asked a simple question. Would you still want me if I canceled the policy tomorrow? Silence. That call wasn't the end. 2 weeks later, a handwritten letter arrived at my office. Naomi wrote about how she felt safe with me for the first time, despite everything, begging to start over, even if it meant removing herself from the policy. For a moment, a flicker of guilt hit me. Memories weaponized to keep me tied down. But I knew the truth. I had offered love and honesty, but those weren't returned. She was trying to rewrite the past to make my boundaries feel like betrayals. I shredded the letter and decided silence was the best response. If it was real, she wouldn't need a policy to stay. If it was real, her daughter wouldn't have called me an ATM behind closed doors. Then the rumors started. Mutual friends pulled away. A charity board member stopped returning calls. A business contact hinted that Naomi was painting me as a villain, using her story for sympathy, then dumping her after cashing in. The narrative spread without me saying a word. A direct message from Naomi's cousin accused me of exploiting Naomi for personal gain. That's when I realized they weren't just hurt. They were furious. But I didn't respond. I refused to be drawn into a public fight. I let the silence speak. Naomi's voicemail shifted, part pleading, part threat. She warned me that she could turn people against me, accuse me of manipulation and control, threaten legal battles. I forwarded the messages to my attorney and made it clear any more harassment, and we go to court with everything documented. I never heard from her again, but the damage lingered. Some longtime friends looked at me differently. Client avoided personal talks. But those who mattered stayed. They asked, they listened, they believed the truth. Months later, at a dinner event, I saw Naomi again. She looked hollow, not angry or sad. She told me Kayla was in college on scholarship, that things were tight, but okay. Then she said, I know I made mistakes, but you're not cold. Could you really walk away from people who just want to be part of your life? I looked her in the eye and said, you didn't want to be part of my life. You wanted access to what I built. There's a difference. She said nothing, and I walked away. Now, I live quietly, no drama, no pretense. I've learned that love is felt, loyalty is earned. When people ask if I regret it or miss them, I say this. They didn't lose a man. They lost their golden ticket. And I found peace worth far more than any $1 million policy.